So the news broke last night that Judge Esther Salas, her family, I believe her husband was fatally or critically wounded um, by, I guess, a person pretending to be some type of like delivery driver, and her son was killed as well while she was in the basement. And, the part that a lot of people kind of glommed onto is that this happened 4 days after this judge, Esther Salas, was assigned to a Jeffrey Epstein link case involving Deutsche Bank and a lawsuit that's been filed against them for their dealings. So it looks like now we maybe have the suspect in this case. So this is from CNN. I'll link it in the description box down below. Suspect in fatal shooting at home of Judge Esther Salas described himself as an anti-feminist lawyer, once argued a case before the judge. Do we want to watch the video? Maybe if there's no ads. But I bet there's ads because it's CNN, and I was right. So, yeah, fuck it. We'll just read the article. On his website, Roy Den Hollander described himself as an anti-feminist lawyer who defended men's rights. His personal writings and life work reveal a toxic stew of sexist and racist bigotry. He had unsuccessfully filed lawsuits against bars and nightclubs offering ladies' nights, claiming they violate the 14th Amendment. And he filed suits against the federal government, challenging the constitutionality of its Violence Against Women Act, the Female Fraud Act, as he referred to it, and against Columbia University for its women studies program. This person obviously, had a lot of issues if this was the lens through which they viewed the world. I mean, for God's sakes. Federal authorities on Monday said Den Hollander is suspected of shooting the husband and son of U.S. District Judge Esther Salas at her North New Brunswick, New Jersey, at her North New. I mean, that doesn't. It should have said home at her North New Brunswick, New Jersey home. The FBI called Den Hollander the primary suspect and said that he is dead. The two law enforcement officers. The two law enforcement sources told CNN that the suspect died was believed to be a self-inflicted gunshot wound. It is in the so-called evolutionary correct cyclopedia. Den Hollander made chilling remarks about solutions that he called political commies and feminists. Things began to change when individual men start taking out the specific persons responsible for destroying their lives before committing suicide. I mean, maybe there wasn't anything suspicious about the timing of, this attack 4 days after, Judge Salas was given that case that was linked or has ties to Jeffrey Epstein. If this person, this Den Hollander person, was saying, things begin to change when individual men start taking out the specific persons responsible for destroying their lives before committing suicide, which, from initial appearances seems like possibly what happened. He argued one case before Salas, according to federal court records, lawsuit where he represented a woman and her daughter as they sought to register for the military selective service. In the case, Den Hollander's clients claimed the draft was unconstitutional because it barred women from registering. The case, like at least one other in the federal court system, raised intricate legal questions about the treatment of women in the military. Salas sided against a part of Den Hollander's argument last spring, but also agreed with some of his claims and allowed the lawsuit to continue on. So the attorney exited the case in June 2019, handed over to a team of lawyers in a large New York-based law firm, Boyce, Schiller, Flexner. Den Hollander said he would not be able to see the case through because he was terminally ill. Nick Garvanti, Boyce Schiller managing partner, told CNN on Monday. There is Roy Den Hollander. Den Hollander had called Garvanti out of the blue last year, asking the larger firm to take over the case before Salas. The firm knew of Hollander's history pushing anti-women viewpoints, but saw this case an opportunity to fight for equal rights of women. Let's see. Gravante said he didn't know of any anger Hollander had for the judge or why he had worked on the case to begin with. In one of the writings, then Hollander claimed he had been diagnosed with melanoma cancer in October 2018. I think that's skin cancer, right? On his website, Den Hollander wrote an autobiographical document in which he personally disparaged Salas in racist and sexist terms. While speaking about Salas, he claimed he often ran into trouble with female judges of Latin American descent, claiming they were driven by inferiority complex. Attacked her professional record and associations. At one point appeared to push a white nationalist belief that organizations are trying to convince Americans that whites, especially white males, were barbarians and all those types of darker skin complexion of victims. Dude definitely had some deep issues for sure. He railed against feminazis, spoke as held forth on his tactics for picking up women. I'm sure he was very successful in that. Sued CNN for disseminating false information. All right, so he's been a lawyer for a while, but yeah. So what do you think? Do you think this is just a big coincidence? 4 days after Judge Salas was assigned an Epstein link case, that this Den Hollander person definitely seems to have a few screws loose. Dressed up as a delivery driver, went to their house, shot her son dead, uh, critically wounded her husband as well. Was this just Den Hollander, living out this evolutionary correct cyclopedia, or is there more to it? What do you think? Leave your thoughts in the comment sections down below. Peace.